I'm recording. Yeah, okay. Clap away. Do like
See,
one.
that sounded really bad.
Cool, that'll do. That should be fun.
You know that I've been getting messages from people saying that I need to social distance myself from you. I don't know whether they think I live with you.
Oh, really?
Or what. Yeah. It's so funny.
I mean, I'd quite like it if you were here, to be honest. Not that I haven't been enjoying sort of alone time with Sarah, but it would. I don't know. You get a bit stir crazy. Just like.
Well, seeing all the bands and stuff, like a lot of them have. You showed me that. You sent me a link to Bring Me the Horizon. They're like self-isolating together and making.
And they're just
music.
like making an album while in self-isolation. Yeah.
Yeah, that's sick. Like, I know. I kind of get a bit jealous of that because if we. I mean, apart from all of us want to spend time with our families right now, but if we were committed and we all self-isolated together in Motus, we could all do our daily exercise together. Yeah, that'd be mad.
It's so tricky.
Well, in the future,
I mean that's my plan now for the next pandemic. It's like we buy a big house and we have like a barn that's a gym and like a studio.
We just pay it all off.
Yeah,
pay it all off through YouTube money when the pandemic hits again. We can just make another one. We just create another virus.
Yeah, well, we just get 5G, right? We make 6G, and that starts it, because that's the fucking...
I don't really know where I stand. I still have never, ever looked up anything about 5G, but now anyone I speak to...
Anything you search, just search the word debunked afterwards, and that's basically as easy as you can go. It's every fucking time I open Facebook, someone else and their nan is getting all... excited about. I think the world is, because it's in such a weird place and everyone's feeling so many emotions, so much grief and like everything, a conspiracy that normally like a select few would get into, the world is getting into. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But it's like, even
that is very true.
I saw this thing where it's like, oh, Wuhan was the first place to have 5G. It's like, no, it wasn't. It was fucking South Korea had it, and then Chicago's had it. There's places in America have had it since like July last year.
Yeah.
So Anyway, we shouldn't rot. We've probably just lost half our listener base. But
people who believe, yeah.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Motus Podcast. Sorry for the delay. We're trying to get on top of this. It's just obviously it's weird because not a lot's going on, but at the same time, it's been hard to get things done. Not a lot's
going on. I think the not a lot that's going on is overtaking the time to do podcasts, if that makes sense. Like for me, the days go stupid. They go stupidly quick, but also like really slow.
I mean,
like,
that
they're
being
really
said,
slow while I'm in the day.
You have been waking up at 1 p.m.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So that'd be why they're getting fast.
55% of the day already technically gone.
And then going to bed at like 3 or something.
Yeah, why? What have you been doing?
Nothing. Just that's it. Let's just get. But the tricky thing is, because I'm always at home now, I thought this would be an easier thing, but I come back from work and I struggle to try and fix my sleep pattern. Yeah. And then as soon as I've kind of nearly fixed it, I'm already having to reset it.
And I guess there's no reason to fix it because you're at home, right?
Exactly. So I kind of just let it loose for a while. But
yeah. And you bought an Xbox.
Oh yeah, exactly. But I've not... I'm not going into work this week to just because I was like, nah. Well, me and my parents talked and we were like, we just want to get on top of things because
what did work say?
I haven't told them, but I spoke to. I mean, I mean, they can do whatever they want, but
I mean, to be honest,
it's ruining for me. That's ruining not enough sleep and just.
In
my head, I'm trying to. The worst thing is I'm trying to fix it, and it still isn't fixing. If I was just completely like, whatever, then I'd be fine. But yeah,
it's really interesting.
If I fix it this week, it'll be okay.
Yeah, it sounds like we've essentially moved in opposites because I obviously was really kind of pranging out about this whole virus thing, and while Sarah was still at work, it was giving me quite a lot of anxiety and things. Now, I mean, it's probably also thanks to the fact that I'm now on essentially antidepressants, which have done me the world of good. Like, I'm waking up and being like, I love being alive. Like,
that's great.
It is sick. I mean, it's slightly worrying because I'm essentially taking something to make me feel like that. Essentially, they're like serotonin boosters, so they're boosting my like happiness drugs. But
you're missing a chemical that, well, not that it's diagnosed, but you're supposedly missing it. Yeah. I swear, isn't it like a chemical imbalance to make you feel
it's a chemical imbalance.
Not as good.
And I now have this like crazy sense of happiness where I can like walk the dog and I'm suddenly just appreciating the world so much more. Like, I feel like Max. You know how Max is so fucking positive, and I'm this like cynical bastard.
Maybe he's got something to hide.
Yeah.
Same thing as you.
But so I'm now like, I mean, the death rate's going up, and obviously, I mean, the world's in a horrible situation, but I'm fairly numb to it in a way. Like, I'm not laughing at it, but I'm like, it's not shaking me to my core like it was a couple of weeks ago. Whereas it sounds like you're, but I think because work
so is weird.
They're not taking it seriously at work, right?
Oh no, not at all. It's stupid, and I feel like because it is serious. Because I truly believe this is a serious situation. Because I wasn't really watching the news that much, but obviously it scares you to watch the news and you shouldn't be watching it loads, but this is the only time I've really wanted to kind of listen to it because I want to know. I'm the one who's actually going out. It's
the balance of,
for me, I need to see. For me, I need to see to make sure I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like when you said in the group chat, you said you were going to the shop and you don't know how serious to take it. That's how I feel. Yeah, like going to work, I'm like, oh, should I? But yeah, I came in, like, obviously my boss isn't going to listen to this podcast, but I came in to work, and me and Hayley, people who don't know, I go to work with my neighbour. I usually get a lift with her, but we started driving separately just because social distancing. And when I came in, my boss, like, not in a mean way, but I just told her, because of social distancing, she just laughed, and I was like, great. Yeah, like, she's not on board with it, and they pushed all the desks together when we were like eating at work and stuff. I don't know. It's not that serious, but at the same time, I was like,
but I think it is. Like, at the end of the day, like, it's because it's not going to kill everyone. It's not the end of the world, but it is overwhelming our health service, and people are dying who shouldn't be dying because of this shortage of ventilators and stuff and things like this. And therefore, the more serious, like, it is essentially the less people who get it, the more people who won't have to die. And people are like, oh, well, the flu kills people anyway, and these people are dying anyway. It's like a fucking, like, 19-year-old died the other day, like a 20-year-old's died. Like, people your age are dying who don't need to die. And also, a lot of people who are dying now, it's because they're not going to the hospital. Because, one, the hospital's saying, don't come in until you're at death's door. And also, people are saying, I don't want to take it. I don't want to, like, be a burden to the health service. So they're like, they're staying at home and managing their own symptoms and getting to the point where they then can't breathe, because for some people this does escalate into like a bad pneumonia, and then it's too late. Oh no. Hold on.
Oh, you cut out for me a bit.
You're back. My Bluetooth headphones just suddenly disconnected, but we're all good.
Yeah, I could still hear you, but it was like the audio just completely changed.
It must have gone to my phone.
That's what changed. I think that's what changed how I thought about it when I started seeing a lot of people say, if you're young, you still need to take care, because they've made it out to be like the old people are the only people at risk, but really it is, they are more at risk, but everyone can, you know, there's people with strong lungs and stuff that are getting affected.
It's like on a normal day, if you got a pneumonia and you went to the hospital, you would have an almost 100% chance of survival unless something went really wrong. However, the hospitals are so overrun that you're more at risk, and also if you're in the hospital, you're taking a bed away from like my mum or something like that. So
yeah, exactly.
Anyway, let's.
But that's that. We always probably going to get that out of the way every.
Yeah.
I feel like every week that's going to happen. It's only been 10 minutes, but you know, get that out of the way.
Have the chat.
Get you.
So
COVID-19 out of the way.
We're going to talk about some suggestions about things to do in lockdown in a bit, but there's some sort of parkour topics that I think we should run through. The first being that you essentially are the creator of the Save Your Clips hashtag that now everyone is taking on, but obviously Kieran, Jimmy the Giant,
I didn't know. I mean, I didn't try and make it a hashtag.
No, but I was just going to try and play it, but my phone's going to not work.
Whoa, voice is going crazy. Do you know if Facebook Messenger is? Did you say there's a delay if we do it through there?
Sorry, no, that was only because I was trying to open up Instagram and it disconnected my headphones for a second. The reason being is I have a really nice message from Kieran, i.e. Jimmy the Giant, who basically said that he'd finished his documentary and then he was like, fuck, I forgot to include it in the documentary, but like I wanted to give a huge amount of credit to this idea and the whole Save Your Clips thing because of your video.
That is nice. I mean,
yeah,
I
it's
think
sick.
I wasn't really thinking in that way.
No, but it's like
when I did that, I was just like, oh, you probably should create.
Yeah. You've like started a little catalyst, and then he's like taken that and put it onto a platform, which is really sick. And already there's like so many people getting behind it.
Yeah, I like that. I'm hoping to see as many people as possible getting behind it because that would be really cool.
Yeah, and
I think a huge shift.
I think it's like it's just that balance, isn't it? Like this, I think for a period last year, people were getting kind of really, really into the Instagram thing, and it's not like people weren't making YouTube content, but it was just like the right people in the right places, just being like, hey guys, like we need to think about the history here, like the culture, things like that.
Definitely. So, yeah, I think he's got the right idea of why YouTube is a good place, with the culture being and all of the points that you had.
Yeah,
because when I was thinking about it, I didn't really know why. It was more just like,
well, we
I want to see more YouTube videos.
Yeah, and we
thought about that for ages. I
think episode 3 or whatever, where we went pretty heavy on Instagram. Maybe episode 2, and for me, it's historical because it's so much. It's the fact that you can go and look up a video that is dated and it's easy to find. So it's like it's almost like the history books. You can go back and be like, oh, here's this, that. Whereas with Instagram, you can't do that.
Especially with how Kieran said, I mean, I only realised this because he asked me his questions and stuff, but how I got into parkour was because of YouTube videos. I don't think I would have got into it through Instagram videos.
Yeah.
Because I used to watch so many like behind the scenes type of videos and videos that were more community based because I was like, I want to be their friends. They're so cool.
That's the draw. Whereas with Instagram, you only see the little cherry on top.
Exactly, and you don't know how those people are. You don't know if they're the same as you. You don't, which is it's that needs to change a tiny bit.
Yeah.
But everything, all social media is pretty much good. Just like you said, balance.
Yeah. I mean, actually, let's it's further down the list, but we can segue this in because like I was just thinking, Dom obviously did that Kong front pre to a rail the other day, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, where do I find that? Because I looked in the notes and I was like, I don't know if I've seen that.
Have you not? It's on his Instagram.
Is it the one? I saw a bail of his where he got folded over a rail.
Yeah, so he landed it the one before, the post before.
You're joking.
And it was clean. Like he took that bail and then did it.
I'm that dumb that I just didn't think. I looked at that bail and was like, oh, okay. I should have known that Dom got it.
Yeah, he got it nice as well. Like he obviously had a few attempts at it, but which I mean, it's just he's so progressive. Like no one else is trying that shit. It's so fucking sick. But that's a good example of like a lot of people will see that, but they won't necessarily want, like, they don't get any taste of his personality there. And some will go, oh, like I've followed him, I've seen a story post for like a video, I'm going to swipe up and watch a YouTube video. But I think it's harder. It's easier to just go, oh, that's sick, double tap, keep scrolling. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that clip is very true. They're so fucking impressive. Like that's ridiculous. He's so I can't comprehend trying stuff like that. Really. I know, and it's just so funny because like me. He obviously for so long Dom was like the Sendy guy who was just a bit sketch, and he's obviously got over that ages and ages ago, but he keeps getting better, and it's he's like undeniable. He keeps getting better, and he still has the same sort of plan towards training ever so slightly. Like he'll still take bails, but I never cringe at his bails because I know that he works on his like muscles and he what do you call it? It's like physio and stuff. Yeah, he kind of he's not dumb. If he bails, he knows how to like get the pains out, if that makes sense. Yeah, like, I think some people from being serious. Yeah, some people were like, oh, I never want, like I'm going to do everything possible to avoid a bail, whereas Dom will probably do like slightly less, but know that if a bail comes, it's something that he can take. Like he wouldn't do it if it was going to get fucked up. But well, I wouldn't say it's Sendy. Like it's not
No, definitely not.
It's
because he's not. You know, he can do it.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff he does, I'm never like, oh, okay, Dom, you might not be able to do this. You're like, yeah, he could do that. He just might bail.
Yeah.
First, or maybe after he's done it.
Yeah.
But I mean that fold he did over the rail was probably.
It's pretty savage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a savage one compared to most of his recent ones.
I was
like,
worried about his face because there's like the vertical pole, and it looks like he almost like he catches his arms on the floor, and it looks like his face just fucking slams. But I think he just avoids it.
Oh
pretty
god,
hectic.
yeah. But there. Also with the Save Your Clips thing.
Yeah,
I'm excited for Max to make this. I'm not going to say exactly what it is.
Well, the video that's coming out today.
Crazy video. Yeah, it's coming out today, isn't it?
I'm really curious just because I don't know what everyone else has done for it.
Oh, neither. Like, it's probably going to be such a switch up. Like, I'm going to watch your day or watch, like, Jordan's day and be like, oh, maybe I should have done that.
Oh, you don't want to have done mine. Mine is sit and edit and make a time-lapse of it and then do some other ridiculous stuff around the house. But
that's cool.
I think you'll enjoy it.
I wish I did more of that.
Well, I say ridiculous stuff. I essentially put on the equivalent of a hazmat suit to open a package of bag samples. So,
wow. To be fair, I'm saying wow, but we're like disinfecting shopping when we come back. And
yeah, no, so. We're doing all that. But I mean, no. So Hannah from the factory, her parents both actually got positive with coronavirus.
Oh god,
because they're NHS workers, they managed to get tested. I don't know how, because there's a lot of NHS workers who haven't got tested. But so she, I guess, when this all kicked off, went back and started living with them. I don't know. She's up in London, and so she was living with them while they had it. She didn't ever get symptoms, but has been in like the 14-day quarantine, and she received these bag samples, and they've been, because the office is obviously closed, so they've been at her house for a few days while she was kind of in this quarantine period. And then when she was then allowed to like leave, she then got DHL to come and pick them up and post them to me. So I was like, I don't know how seriously to take this, because I mean, technically, like, it doesn't last on fabric for that long at least.
Yeah, but for me hearing that, I'd be a bit sketched out. But,
so I kind of did it for comedy's sake for the video, but also like a little bit cautious. But then since then, I've just like disregarded all caution, and I'll probably die in a few days. But we'll see. In the sense that I've just been like wearing them and testing them out.
You literally died for the brand.
Yeah. Apart from the bags won't come out if I die, I imagine. So.
Oh yeah, true.
But yeah, there you go.
Nice,
that's an exclusive.
If anyone's excited for new bags that they don't know what's coming. But I really like.
The problem is there's a lot
the direction of them.
There's a lot that we need to do in person in terms of like fabrics and hardware and things, and it's like, but we'll get there.
Yeah. That is cool.
Have you seen Ultimate Tag?
Is that Contendants video?
No. Ultimate Tag is. Do you remember when we did the podcast with Jesse and we spoke about the American chase tag equivalent?
Oh yes.
So that trailer has now been announced. It's coming out on May 20th, and it sort of got fairly hyped up on Facebook. But I saw a lot of people obviously saying like, this is a chase tag ripoff, which it's really tough. Because it isn't, because if you actually look at the dynamics of the game, there's a lot of different, like, it's like Gladiators. They're all very over the top, and there's a lot of different elements. Like, I saw Jesse reply to a comment being like, does chase tag have a cage 30? Oh god, what was that? A sneeze?
That was a sneeze. Wait, because there might be another one coming. You don't want to have that in the podcast. That's already mic peaked.
No, it's fine. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. I'll just wipe down. I'll wipe down my microphone in case it somehow come through. Jesse was like, "Does it have a cage? Does chase tag have a cage 30 foot above the ground with no safety ropes and stuff like this?" Chase tag obviously doesn't. However, 90% of the footage in that trailer is their like chase tag equivalent. It's all the like ground level chase stuff.
How do I see this trailer?
If you just search like Ultimate Tag Fox, it's kind of everywhere. Like even Google Ultimate Tag Fox.
Really?
And
who's doing it?
We should have done we should talk about our topics before we go live, really, so that we're all prepared. But
but No, it's good.
You can get the live reactions from Keelan. Loads of people are in it. So Austin Ray and Julian are in it, and Jesse, Tom Copella's in it.
Really?
Yeah. There's not a low, but a decent amount of parkour people. I think Sydney was meant to be in it, but I think this is the show that she ended up helping produce, maybe. But I just found it interesting because I'm almost 100% certain, knowing a bit about the background of this show and people who were involved in like the pre stuff, like when they were sort of designing it almost. This show essentially wouldn't exist if Chase Tag didn't exist. And unfortunately...
Really?
Like as from what I can tell from people I've spoken to and things, like this idea would not have come about if Chase Tag had not already been an existing idea. And I just... I love Chase Tag, and I love the guys behind it, and I love the direction they're taking it. And it's not like I hate the look of this, because this looks, frankly, pretty fucking fun to watch.
Yeah, it does look cool. I'm watching clips right now, and they've got some aspects in it that look pretty mental.
And it's very much more gladiators. Like, they've all got names like Banshee and Rocket and things. But
it's very, I mean, don't want to offend anyone, but
it's very American
kind of, yeah.
But
exactly, yeah.
I just hope that this doesn't negatively affect Chase Tag in the sense that, like, this becomes the new norm and people look at Chase Tag as like, nah. Because... Yeah,
same, because Chase Tag has that, like, kind of cool underground feel.
It feels like you're watching a boxing match or like a UFC match.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go and watch it. Whereas I think this feels like you're watching a game show.
And I don't want them to make that... I don't want it to feel like a game show. As in normal Chase Tag after that. I don't want people to
I'm hoping they can exist. Yeah, I'm hoping they can exist in two separate things.
I think they... because one's UK, I think it still would be... It still will hold up because they'll still have loads of parkour people, and parkour people have massive social media.
And I think this
like
is
all round. You know what I mean?
This just so much looks like a show. Like, it doesn't look like you couldn't imagine this existing with all the like bravado without TV cameras there. Whereas Chase Tag could happen without any media.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true.
But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
I know. Like Jesse and I love doing it. I think so.
Yeah, I do remember you talking to me about it ages ago, actually.
Yeah,
telling me about it.
So we had a question the other day that I kind of threw into the notes, and it doesn't really match anything else that we're talking about, but it is an interesting topic.
I think I'm looking at the one.
Yeah, one that comes up quite often, I think, and in many different circumstances. And it was just someone saying, what are the ethics of training in locations that are somewhat kind of religious or special or protected, i.e. graveyards and temples was the kind of example he gave. But then he went on to give, sorry, I've forgotten his name, and now if I open up Instagram it's going to glitch out my phone, so I'm going to leave it. But he also kind of gave examples of like Stora at Joshua Tree, and yeah, it was kind of like the Farang temple videos and things. And obviously in places like England, there's a lot of like old graveyards where technically you could go and find prees and pliers and arm jumps and everything, but it's the moral dilemma of like, well, what's acceptable? Where do you stand?
I think immediately when I look at, if I narrow it down to just graveyards and temples, I say for me personally, graveyards are a big no.
Yeah.
And then temples are yes, but with great caution. Like, you don't really want to be breaking them, obviously. And I think you just got to be respectful for people who are going to try and kick you off of temples, because if they're religious as well, like,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? I mean, there's a time and a place for, I think, temple training. Not that I've really done any, but I know you've visited ones in like Thailand and stuff.
Yeah,
I don't know how that was, but I'd say, I mean, I don't have experience, so I don't know, but for that, just be mindful.
Yeah, I think like the way I see it is, an active graveyard or anything close to like a graveyard that is actively sort of visited or anything like that is a no. In terms of like the English graveyards, if you're like completely in the middle of the woods and you come across some shitty abandoned church that's probably been abandoned for like 100 years, and you start jumping around and realize there's like, oh, actually this could be there's a couple of like gravestones here, I don't think you got any problems. But I think going into, I mean, there's so many graveyards like in local towns that I could literally go in and start doing like you can just find running prees and plyos and strides and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just think, nah. Like, even if there's no one about, it's just nah.
It feels really weird. As well as that, it's just, I don't know. It's where people go. People could turn up at any time, and people aren't going to be on their best if they're going to.
Yeah, and I think filming it is it's weird. Like, it's we're so good at finding spots in other places. Yeah. And also, like, I mean, by all means train on churches, because they're just buildings of...
churches are different. I found so many spots attached to churches.
And I don't care for a building that's attached to a religion, but no matter what your beliefs are, like, a dead body's a dead body kind of thing, and I think that's ground that should be respected. A temple is interesting because, once again, it's kind of a building of religion. In places where temples seem to exist, Thailand, etc., religions are not taken more seriously, but there's certain, like, so when we were in Bangkok and we went out to the temples with Farang, they are somewhat protected. You have to kind of go into them, and like tourists have to pay and stuff. However, they're a bit more like, even tourists kind of not climb, but like it's a bit more like clambering around and things, and certain paths you should take. But and for the most part, because we were in one that was like an active, like you had to pay to get into, but we didn't because of Anand's fame, which was funny. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, literally, he just took a few photos with guards and then we walked in. But they had very strict rules about, like, you can't climb higher than the heads of statues and stuff like this, because then you're essentially like,
are you showing yourself as higher than them?
Yeah, so there's certain things like that in certain places that you kind of adhere to, and you will get shouted at. But for the most part, it was fairly relaxed, and maybe that was because we had Anand about. I think it's just, you got to take everyone as it comes. Like, and then obviously Farang did that video at the old temple, but I think that was like an older temple that is not necessarily manned, and it's kind of falling apart anyway. And I think as long as you're not actively destroying it.
Yeah, and also it should be with every time you get kicked off of property.
Yeah, I think
you should know how to deal with it because you'll get so many different types of people.
It's just basically look at your ethics and your morals and things. And then, I mean, he brought up the Stora Joshua Tree thing, which they got in a lot of stick, not for training at Joshua Tree, because lots of people do that and lots of people go hiking.
Wasn't it to using the Joshua trees, like climbing on them and stuff?
Yeah, well, there was a number of things. So the trees themselves are incredibly protected. Even to the extent where, like, in music videos, if like a singer leans up against one, they get in trouble, kind of thing. Stora used them as like tic tac things. Essentially, Stora kind of took. They did a few things that are quite clearly shit you shouldn't do, and kind of were like, fuck it won't affect us. And unfortunately, in America, like, when it comes to national parks, people take that stuff very, very seriously. They also like picked up firewood and used that to make a fire, which is a massive no-go because of the wood, even though it's lying about, is like old Joshua trees, and that's still protected. They flew a drone and unfortunately started the video saying like, oh, we're going to fly a drone or something, while looking at a sign that says like no flying drones. So like they kind of really made it quite easy to piss off a load of people, but that wasn't actually to do with the rocks themselves. So
I think that, I mean, in their circumstances, in the wrong, but for me, if I was someone who was a newcomer going to Joshua Tree, I mean, I'd have no clue about a lot of those things. Yes, there is like signs, but especially
I think that's
like
the thing
touching
is
the Joshua trees.
Yeah,
that's something that I'd be like, really? But I understand that they're quite like a sacred tree because it is Joshua Tree.
It is weird because it's an area that, I mean, there are signs when you drive in, and technically, if you look at the signs, everything is there. Like, you're like, okay, I won't do any of this. However, it's not like there's people patrolling, and it's not like there's signs up everywhere. But also, you wouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
You wouldn't want it to have signs up everywhere. Like, a sign on entrance to this massive national park is kind of all you want in an area like that. And I guess it's just our... I think you just got to be, in all of these circumstances, just be a bit respectful. Like, you just got to think. Little bit of thinking.
Yeah. Little bit of thinking.
God, we're boring and serious, aren't we? Should be like, fuck the system.
I mean, when I was a lot younger, when I was training and I was maybe in, let's say, secondary school, I don't know whether it's to do with just that time when you're like in school, so you do feel a bit more like rebellious, but I wouldn't think twice about things like that, if that makes sense. Like, I'd be getting kicked off of everywhere and not really care.
It's called maturity.
Depending who I'm. Oh yeah, but also I kind of wish I had a bit of that, because even nowadays, training in my village, I feel like just everyone's looking at me, and if I get kicked off, I'm like, oh sorry, and then I just feel, I don't feel really bad necessarily, I just feel really shit. I'm like, did I just really let myself get kicked off of that?
The weather, right, it's been so good recently, and we've obviously got spots in the town that I could go and train at, and I keep thinking about doing it, but technically I'm using my one exercise a day for the dog walk, and me and Sarah joined the like local town Facebook group, because you can just like join it and see.
Wow.
Like, and fuck me, like, it's, everyone on there is the busiest body in the world. Like, somebody was letting off fireworks when the whole like NHS clap thing was going on, and people are like, who the fuck is letting off like, there were a couple of kids playing in the park, I'm not sure which park, but they were on there. Like, somebody was like, there's kids in the park, like, they're not socialized, they're not distancing, blah blah, and then other people are like, call the police, like, what? So I'm like, shit, if I go out and train, especially in that new spot with all those little like old people in those houses, they'll probably fucking call the police. Like,
yeah, I think they will. And that's so annoying.
It's that small town vibe where like they don't, now that everyone is cooped up in their homes, they're all sitting on Facebook, and they're just like I go on and I scroll down, and it doesn't take me long where I can find a post about just like some pointless shit. Like,
I know, and that is the same here. Yeah. People are getting annoyed at just nothing. I got kicked off of the for that video we're making for Motus. I went to the spot that I always go to, the St Edith Hall one. It's just like a little hall with 2 walls, and it was just me by myself, and I had like no music on, nothing. I just sat there for a bit. I didn't even do like the standing prayer cross. I was just kind of like warming up a bit.
Yeah.
And then the lady who lives next to it, she's really nice, but she opened the door and she was like, I'm so sorry, but all the like people opposite the road have been calling me. And I was like, what?
Really?
She's like, yeah, they're like really disturbed about what you're doing. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
I think it's just because
I'm on my own, and it's because all of them are home.
Yeah, it's like a dog.
You know what I mean?
Like, now they have nothing to do apart from look out the fucking window.
Yeah, and I guess they're seeing me, and they're probably like, why is he outside of his house?
Yeah.
There is so many people in nearly said where I live. There's so many people in my village right now.
Yeah.
Like outside.
Well,
I don't know
outside?
whether it's the same with Hawkcast. Yeah, like, it's because everyone's walking.
Wait, you just hid where you live and then said where I live, you bastard.
Oh, did I?
Now
yeah,
the stalkers are going to come. It's fine.
You didn't spot that. Yeah, whatever. But that's what I'm saying. Everyone's out now.
Oh, that's
walking.
Interesting.
Is it not the same?
It's pretty dead around here. Like, walking the dog, we obviously see the occasional dog walker, and you do see people. Like, I went to Waitrose the other day, and there were people about. But it's fairly dead. But
so mental.
Most of the people I'm seeing out are 100% over 75, and I thought they were all meant to be locked in there. Like, and also,
that's funny.
The few people
I'm not seeing any old people.
Really, the few people I've seen in groups are all fucking old, and I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know.
No, it's impossible for me not to bump into someone when we go on a walk or doing anything.
Oh, wow.
Especially people I know. It's ridiculous. It's actually mental. I forget how I get the small town vibes that you get sometimes.
Yeah.
I haven't had that in a while.
Just for a visual image, by the way, because I'm now getting quite warm. I'm sitting in the office, and I'm wearing joggers, but I'm wearing a dressing gown with no shirt underneath, and I'm so warm that I've just undone the dressing gown. So I'm now sitting here, kind of like some soprano gang leader, bare-chested, like.
Oh my god.
Gang leader, gangster.
Yeah, it's getting hot in here as well. I'm curtained off.
Oh yeah, your little bubble. All right.
Anyway, what were we talking about? That went from ethics to small town village.
I don't know, but I really need a wee again, so you might have to freestyle for 30 seconds. This can be a running theme. All right, I'll be back.
I'm down to. Oh wait,
you can still hear me.
Can I still hear you? Yeah, that's cool. I reckon I'm going to move on to things to do in lockdown, because you're replying like people are going to hear you. Giles is replying to me right now, and I can't hear myself think because that stream is very loud. Very, very loud. Yeah. Well, I think with things to do in lockdown, that's something that I need to work out myself, because most of it turns me back to technology, which is, I think, something I need to work on not doing, because I'm kind of anti-technology in the way that I think we shouldn't be using it so much, yet I use it so much. So there's something I need to work out. I mean, I've been doing a stupid amount of watching YouTube and gaming, but there's things
you're like,
which is like the worst.
I'm anti-technology, but I watch Minecraft videos and game.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think it's more just something against myself. I'm like, I need to be doing something better. I'm not doing it like a huge amount, but it's no, actually, I don't think it's the amount I'm doing it. I think there's nothing that I'm doing that is progressive and isn't technology based, really.
Yeah, I get that. So you kind of,
and I have so many opportunities to learn something. Like my dad's constantly, now he's off work because he's a carpenter, he's just constantly doing stuff for the house.
Yeah,
he's just building shelves. I don't know, I'll ask him to like do something. He's really good. I'll be like, oh, could you like add this new shelf in my room, and then we could do this, and he's literally straight on it because he's got nothing to
like,
do.
Give me something to do.
Yeah, and I'm watching it and I'm like, I could try and learn something right now.
Yeah, you should, because woodwork's fucking sick.
It is sick. It's really cool, and he's been doing so many things that I'm like, oh my god, if I could do that, that'd be so handy.
It's
especially
such a useful skill.
Oh yeah, because I want to be his age, and if I have a house, not have to get someone in to like build things.
Yeah, I mean,
certain things. You know,
I should be so much better because my dad's obviously does a similar vein, and I'm fairly okay with kind of wood specifically, but I'm not that proactive with it. Like we were just saying yesterday, like the windowsill in our bathroom, we need to like sand down and treat and things like that. And I should be like, yes, love doing that.
Yeah, but you could do that. Yeah, but it's that kind of.
I am editing at the moment, and I'm fucking loving it. So I'm kind of.
Oh yeah, good point.
Yeah, I just want to clarify, by the way, the reason for my really loud stream of piss was because I'd left the doors open, hoping that there would be context for the podcast, so they could hear me pissing at the same time. Because then, like, it doesn't sound like you're talking to no one. It sounds like people have context about where I am in the house.
It's a good idea. Yeah. I'm sure they will.
Yeah,
but things to do in lockdown. This is
a good topic.
Well, this is a good topic. But I mean, like you said, for you, a lot of editing. You'd be doing a lot of editing, and I read on the notes you want people to be trying to push that. Push for the creativity, right?
I lost you for a second there. What was that?
Oh, I was saying you want people to push for the creativity, i.e. like maybe editing or.
So the way I see it, right, is that 99% of our audience is parkour based. Most of them train hugely. Obviously, a lot of people do have secondary skills and things, but there are that large percentage of people who only train. Like their life is training, and right now they're probably very like, fuck, what do I do? And essentially what this has just done, this lockdown, is essentially it's just broken both your legs. Like you cannot, I mean, maybe you can train, like it's obviously not impossible to go and train, but for a lot of people they've been severely limited in what they can do. If they live in
a city or something.
Yeah, limited by where they can go and what they can do. So it's like right now, and also like, I mean, talking to Sarah the other day, like schools potentially might not go back until September. So
Jesus.
Never in our lives, unless we have another pandemic or something else happens, will we have this much free time to like, and it's not free time because we're stuck indoors for most of it, but so many people are like, oh, I just wish I could spend more time at home, I just want to relax and things, and it's like, well,
now the time's come.
Now you got ample amounts of time. I was talking to Hector Pitt yesterday just about how like now we both have like so many things that are kind of, we haven't been like putting off, but like for him editing, and for me it's obviously editing, but it's like now I have no excuse. Like the only thing I have to do in the day, aside from like obviously there's some background business things, and I mean we could really do with some more sales, so TMP Prodcast 10 and things like that, but like it's just editing. Like that's the only thing I've got hours and hours and hours, and I'm trying to spend time with Sarah and stuff like that, but also I'm waking up and I'm giddy to edit.
That's so good. That is so good.
And I'm so thankful that I have that to do, and I think for a lot of people they might not have something like that. So the way
there is loads of things to do. There's
But also, if there
need to get on it.
If there isn't, and you're looking for things to do, and like, because there's people who are like, oh, I wish I was better at photos. I wish I was better at editing. It's like, if you want to get better at photos, there is nothing stopping you from shooting a billion different things around your house. Like, there are.
Do you know what?
Sorry, carry on.
I think it's no. Well, I'm cutting you off, so there's no carrying on.
No, it's fine.
No, what I was going to say is that I think the hardest thing, because I've had this, that the reason people may be wondering that, like, oh, I've always wanted to shoot photos, now's your time to do it. The uncertainty of how long we're going to be in lockdown is such a big player in whether or not you're going to commit to something like that. Because for me, that is in the back of my head. I'm like, we've kind of been in lockdown for quite a while now. Should I start doing something like this? And really, yes, because the evidence is showing that we probably will be in lockdown or this type of situation for a while. But it's not like a complete certain length of time.
But also,
you know what I mean?
I don't think...
I mean, you should ignore that, but that's just what subconsciously for me comes into my head, when really I should be like, no, I've got so much time.
Well, and also it's not like you're starting a giant puzzle or like, I don't know, some build in Minecraft that has to be finished and it's going to take months. And if you don't finish it, because obviously, I don't know, you start a puzzle. If you don't finish that puzzle, it's not really worth it. But like developing a skill, it's an endless thing. It's almost the same as lockdown. Like, so it's like, if you want to go and shoot photos, like there are so many creative people who can go and get like, I saw one the other day where somebody got like a bucket of water, like a big old bucket, and they like put their friend's head, I don't know, girlfriend's head or whatever, like she like laid in it, and they like put like black dye in the water and things and like some apples and stuff, and they made it look like her like head was like in this like black lagoon with her hair splayed out, and like I think it was apples or something like this. Like it made it look like she was lying in some like mysterious wood in like this lake, but actually she was just in a fucking bucket of water. And it's like that's mad. Yeah, and you might not be able to develop that skill in one bang, but it's like now is the opportunity to just create. And yes, you are limited to your house, but in some ways being limited to certain things is so much better. Because the other thing I was going to say, and this is years and years and years ago when I broke my wrist, I was stuck at home for ages, and most of my training took place in London at that time, and obviously I live out in the country. So with a broken wrist, I wasn't really like going to London nearly as often, because I used to go fucking every. My parents must have spent so much on my train fares, because I used to go every single weekend. And I
that's expensive.
Aged like 14, 15, I wasn't paying for it.
Yeah, no, of course not.
But I just, all I did was edit the same footage over and over. I literally made 3 videos from the same footage that I remember, and I think all of them had names that were like, one was A&E, as in like accident emergency, because I broke my wrist, so I was just like naming dumb shit. And I just edited the same footage over and over, and it's like, you could download, even if you don't have footage, download videos and films. Like, if you own Roof Culture, I mean, this is kind of ridiculous, you shouldn't upload it. But like something like, I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, you can cut it.
Download any Motus video you want and splice the shit out of it and have fun with the footage. Like, download the behind the scenes of Resurgence and edit your own Resurgence. Don't then post it and claim it as your own stuff. If you do post it, like put it on Instagram or something and like tag me. But like, that's the kind of stuff where you can find like a resource of stuff, and you are limited by like the frame rate of YouTube or whatever. You wouldn't be able to slow it down, but there is so much potential out there if you can just get your mind into that right set of like to being productive and learning.
You can do a lot of things with a phone anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Like even if you don't have that, I'm sure everyone, especially if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have a phone. Just be creative with that, and or just look up as well on YouTube like videos that are made with phones.
Yeah,
and you will realise that you do have something mental in your pocket that you could be, creating some mad stuff with.
And also, I think given the uncertainty of this and the fact that we might be in and out of lockdown for like the next year or so, like it sounds like sort of from the research I've done, like it's if the UK's done a good job, and obviously it's hard to speak for the world because everyone's in different positions and timelines of this, but if we've done a good job at this, which I think, I don't know if we have done. I heard that there were 3,000 people went to a park in London yesterday, so fuck knows. But
you what?
Apparently some park in London registered that like 3,000 people had entered it. Like there were people picnicking in the park and stuff, like over the course of a day.
dude.
And it's just like, oh, wicked.
Anyway,
but
yeah,
it sounds like, because obviously we don't have a vaccine yet, this thing's going to kind of come in waves for the next year or so until we can get it under control. Therefore, we might have to do like, oh, cool, in October we're all going back into our houses again. We need to be like finding ways to, one, satisfy ourselves, and two, potentially make money, because a lot of us need to make money. So it's like developing these things for the long game, because there are some people who are prospering right now. Like, even people who had physical businesses have now taken it and gone, cool, well, I'm just going to turn it into like a web-based business and things. It's really going to reshape a lot of the way sort of certain industries think, and I think that's the headspace you have to be putting yourself in.
Definitely, yeah.
And I think it's tough, because I saw this thing the other day that was like, sort of, if you don't come out of this with a new skill, sort of, I can't remember what it was, but it was like this big bravado, like, if you don't come out of this period with this or this, like a new fitness habit, a new skill, or a new thing, then you don't lack time, you lack dedication, which I think is very, very valid. I did then see this like counter post that was like, or just relax and spend time with your family and things. And I think once again, it's balance, because
it definitely is.
We can't, if let's say until this time next year, we are going to spend the next 6 months periodically in and out of lockdown. Realistically, no one needs to spend 6 months just sitting about the house watching Netflix. Like, that's not fucking healthy.
Definitely not. No.
And I think it's just balance, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
we should all.
I think you got it. I mean, not. I haven't been doing it at all, but I think routine is something that people need to. If you haven't got one already.
Yeah. I
just mean basic routines, because I mean, I don't have a routine, because usually I'm like at your house for a bit, at my house, like during the week. And I still need a routine, really, but being at home every day and not having a routine, that's where it kind of messes me up,
for sure.
Really.
Mine is surprisingly bad, but somehow, like...
Yeah, but you're editing, so it's like you can just get up, and then it's like, okay, whole day it's editing until...
it's kind of on and off.
Like, you've got...
It's interesting, like I wake up, I'll edit for a bit, Sarah wakes up, we'll walk the dog, then I'll come back, and then I just kind of have the edit open, and I'll like do bits around the house with Sarah and things, and then just like the edit's coming together in a really weird way, because I'll sit down and sometimes I'll sit there for an hour and nothing will happen, and then other times I'll sit, and I think it's always the way, but other times I'll sit down and
you don't want to force anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. I mean, because I want to try and use this time to think of some sort of side hustle I can do.
Yeah.
Because I've always wanted one anyway.
Oh my god, we need to talk about Darwin Destroyer.
Oh Jesus, yeah. Did you get any sales?
We did almost $1,000 in sales.
Really?
Almost $1,000 off of what was essentially a joke. And obviously,
that's ridiculous.
They're physical products.
I mean,
they're physical
joke,
products.
But
so
also that's not coming back. Yeah, that's not coming back out. So it's like, for people who have got it, feel good about that.
To anyone who kind of
I don't have anything.
No, I know. I ordered myself a mug and some stickers. But if you live in America, some of the stuff's already arriving, which is great. Like,
really?
Heather, Sasha's girlfriend, already got her sticker that she ordered.
You what?
Because to anyone listening, we drop shipped it basically. I've never done drop shipping before. I've kind of always been very curious about it, and you hear these stories about people making millions and things. And I was a bit dubious because of the whole Corona thing, whether or not it was going to work. Because obviously you were looking at drop shipping for your t-shirt thing. It is working. There's some stuff is being manufactured a bit slower than normal, but some stuff's already out the doors. And I basically, over the course of a week, Sarah drew the Darwin thing out, and then I created all the products like on the site. And they have all these like mock-up tools and things, and then did all the marketing stuff and the fucking ridiculous American accent and all of that. And I mean, that was a great. The annoying thing is, I just started getting into editing, and we'd obviously been talking about the Darwin Destroyer thing for like a month or so, haven't we? And when I got into like a bad mental state, I was like, the Darwin thing won't happen because like I'm not in the right place. And then I kind of came out of that mental state with about a week to go and was like, fuck, we got to rush this thing out. And so I started...
Yeah, that's ridiculous how quick you put that together.
So I did all the...
And it just...
Yeah, it worked.
It was what I thought it was going to be. Like that was probably, if not more...
Yeah, I'm really happy with
so much better.
how it turned out. And I sort of found that like that TV sales style for the editing and things. But yeah, put it online, had no idea if anything was gonna happen. And actually, like, yeah, a lot of people bought stuff. However, as is with dropshipping and the fact that I wanted to make the prices, I literally made the prices as cheap as I could physically make them. We basically made no profit. Like, most of that money is actually just the product and the manufacturing. Like, Anand bought a mug, and his order, because obviously shipping to Bangkok and things, we made 5p profit off the sale of a mug. So, like, some items we made a couple of quid, but I mean, basically we didn't lose any money, which is great, because like, I'd feel a bit bad.
Well, that's what we want, really. It was just it's just a dropship kind of joke, although there was like a lot of effort put into it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean,
like
we bet you're better, and it sounds really, really dumb, because not saying drop shipping is really bad, but you're better than drop shipping, like the clothes that we usually
I would like to argue that, and I am a little bit worried because I haven't, obviously, I'm when it comes to the physical product, I want the physical, like the Motus products, I want them to be the best quality possible, and with this you can't see the product first, so I'm a bit scared. Like, people order t-shirts and hoodies and long sleeves and things, and I'm scared the print quality is not gonna be like crazy good, but I think given how big the dropshipping company is that we used, it should be like to a decent level. Like, I don't think anyone's gonna be upset. I just don't think it's gonna be like top tier.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was a fucking fun experiment and funny. So, but yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, if people want to do that, like, because you were saying side hustle, like, as long as these companies are still operating, technically you could set one of these things up.
Exactly, yeah.
And also just a brand in general. Like, there's nothing you could do. All of the groundwork, business plans and designs, and you got a lot of time now. So
yeah. You've got a lot of time to plan things strategically as well, because if you know you've got the time to dedicate like your days, which is something I want to do.
There's actually
it's
amazing book that I had never heard of before, and I bought it just because I saw it on Harry's Instagram story, Nightscape. It's called the Fashion Business Manual, and it's an
is that the one you've got?
Yeah, it's an illustrated guide to building a fashion brand, and I bought it like only a couple of months ago, and there's a lot in it that I now feel like I'm fairly on top of, but also there's a lot of information in here that's like I wasn't necessarily on top of. But to anyone who's like never got into this stuff before, probably one of the best pieces of like literature. And it's so because it's illustrated, it's like there's a lot of graphics, and it's so nicely laid out that honestly, like, if you bought that book and just had a game plan for a brand, it's going to help you immensely. So I recommend that. But
that's interesting. Yeah, I did see that. I can't remember when it was. Around your house and had a look at it. It looked really nice.
It's really
nice. Looks very easy to follow.
Well, that's the thing.
But it doesn't like take anything out information wise.
No,
got,
exactly.
Like, bulk of information.
Yeah,
that's cool.
But I don't know. I'm sure there's loads of things that I'm not thinking of in terms of like what you can do. But I think really, like, as we've said a lot in this podcast, it's just balance. Like, I'm still taking a huge amount of time to just like relax and try and appreciate Sarah and things like this, and Darwin, because she's not working, so I got more time with her and things. But I think, and
so she's not looking after kids anymore. As in, like,
I lost you.
So they're not sending kids NHS workers.
You're back. So she was. Now technically we are on Easter holidays. So there's like there's like a camp, or like there's like one school in the area who's running like a thing that she's not required to be at. In 2 weeks she'll probably have to go back in like every so often. But the amount of people at school is like, I think it's like 3% or something in the UK. Like 3% of kids are at school and the rest aren't.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a lot less teachers required and schooling things.
Yeah.
My headphones are cutting
Fair enough.
in and out constantly.
Yeah. You were cutting out just speaking then, but I could make out what you were saying.
Oh, shit. Okay. I don't know if the battery... I don't think the battery's dying. I think maybe... I did drop one of them the other day, which wasn't good. Shall we wrap this up? I feel like there's not much point dragging things out, and the last
no, I mean, I don't know how it got to 50 minutes this quick. I feel like we haven't covered an extreme amount of things, but also we covered everything we wanted to speak about.
Yeah, the last one was pretty long, and I think the long ones put a lot of people off. So
yeah,
I need to listen.
Yeah, it's true. They want.
Are you? How many podcasts have you been listening to recently? Because I've got Downbeat episodes that I need to catch up on, and I normally never miss the Downbeat.
Oh, I need to catch up on that.
Yeah,
I haven't been listening to podcasts at work. I've only been listening to like music now and then, and if not, no music.
Yeah,
I find it hard to concentrate now on something else apart from the work, because it's just the workload is quite a lot.
Try not to touch too
it's
many
really
things.
Annoying. Yeah, exactly. But no, it'd be nice to if we try and set a goal, maybe to like pack out these podcasts, even though that to make them an hour, right? Because we do make them an hour.
Yeah.
But pack in as much stuff as possible.
Well,
not that we don't.
I want to get more guests on. I think it's going to be tough because we can't see each other, but I think we should really try and get some guests on. So let's.
Yeah, it's cool. Let's be creative with our guests. Let's try and think outside the box with some people who
very true.
Maybe we haven't tackled some areas.
I like it.
Yeah, you know.
And give us some guest suggestions, people, if you're listening to this. Let us know. Because I think we should try and it'd be good to chat to some people who aren't just me and Keelan and expand our minds, and also just it helps us not lose our minds while we're all cooped up.
I still definitely think Eddie's up for it, but at some stage would be really nice to do one with Jack because of his approach with Rough Cut.
Ah, yes.
Just I've been talking to him recently with how he's sending out clothes to a lot of Instagram like personalities and stuff.
Oh, really?
How he's got it. It'd be nice to chat to him about how he's got their attention with such a low, like, because he doesn't have an insane amount of followers really. On Rough Cut, but he's got their attention.
He's got products though, like his products like eye catching.
Exactly, yeah.
So,
but it's just him, and
well,
and he's also, he's moving on to things like that we're doing, like with factories and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I was speaking to him last week about it, but link. Let's make it happen. Let's chat with him.
Mm-hmm.
And
that'd be cool.
Yeah, let's get some guests on. But fucking hell, it's 9:00. Yeah. By the way, anyone, I don't know if we said this. We're recording this. We started this at 8:00 on a Sunday because we're dedicated as fuck, but also because we put it off until the last possible moment.
Yeah.
So, but let's wrap this up. I'm gonna go and walk the dog, and then I'll come back and edit this.
Nice.
And we'll put it up. But I hope you have
Brilliant.
enjoyed this, people. I hope things are not too hectic for you and everyone is safe. And flood us with some guests and topics and things to keep this thing rolling so we can talk about stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And the more stuff that you send us, topics and whatever, it's just gonna benefit you. Because I know that right now our schedule with podcasts is pretty terrible. But if we can get this
is one of those things we kind of have no excuse to get it better. So let's crack on.
Oh yeah. Well, this is why I want to. If we get a schedule in, not saying this is definitely going to be going to happen, but maybe if we think of some schedule of us to do the podcast and to upload it.
Very true.
Because now we have so much time.
Yeah.
Then might get our numbers up a bit because it's all numbers.
It's all numbers. We only care. Yeah. I kind of, there's part of me that really wants to publicise how many listeners we get, and then also the other part of me wants to keep it quiet. But we hit a very big milestone the other week, which I'm very happy about. So this has been going for a year now.
Seriously?
It was the end of March we started, so we just crossed over a year. And imagine a year ago when we started this thing and we were ranting about Instagram, if we'd said that we would be in lockdown right now, but also we would have made millions off of the podcast within a year, which is kind of cool. So yeah, Jesus. Well, there you go. Start a podcast if you don't know what to do at home. Make 12 mil in a year, because that's exactly what we haven't done.
I don't know.
Well,
we have made nearly that amount.
Yeah, 11.
People are going to wonder. Anyway, let's wrap this up, because there's people who've definitely just turned off now. They're like, okay, yeah.
Wait, you cut out there. What was that? People who've...
I said people have definitely just turned off now because they're like,
they're at the chatty shit stage, yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. All right, well, sorry that was a bit all over the place. We will speak to you soon.
See you later.
Love you. Bye.